Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be going over how to compare fractions. This lesson is good to know for your future in math or even just when you need measurements like in cooking. It isn't too hard and can really help you a lot, so without further ado, let's begin. Before we begin, I want to make sure that you guys know what a least common multiple is and what fractions are. So first, a least common multiple is the smallest multiple of two or more numbers, kind of just like how it sounds like it would be. And then for fractions, there's a numerator and a denominator. Well, the numerator is the top number and the denominator is the bottom number. I put some examples here if you just need like a little recap. We have 3 and 6, and the least common multiple is 6. We have 5 and 7, the least common multiple is 35. And in 2/3, 2 is the numerator and 3 is the denominator. Okay, if you guys got that, we can move on. To start, let's compare fractions with the same denominator. In the example, we have 3/4 and 1/4, so all we need to do is look at the numerators on their own and compare from there. The numerators that we are given are 3 and 1. Since 3 is greater than 1, 3/4 is greater than 1/4. Now if you got that, I think it's time to tackle the more complicated fraction comparison, comparing with unlike denominators. So to compare the denominators, we need to make them the same first. We do this by getting the LCM, or least common multiple, of the two denominators. For instance, in this example, our denominators are 3 and 5, which makes our least common multiple 15. Now before we make our denominators 15 for both, we need to make sure that whatever we do to our denominator, we also need to do to our numerator. So since we'll be multiplying 5 to 3 and 2/3 to get 2/15, we also need to multiply that 5 to the 2, which gives us 10/15. Now we also have to do the second fraction. So we have to multiply 3 to the 5 and 4/5 to get 15. So we also have to multiply 3 to the 4, which ultimately gives us 12/15. Lastly, all we need to do is compare the numerators just like we did when we compared fractions with the same denominators. Since 10 is less than 12, the fraction 2/3 is less than 4/5. I hope you guys got that. It was a little bit of a tongue twister for me. Wow, I can't speak. Another method to comparing fractions with different denominators is to multiply across. So if you've never done that, all you have to do is multiply the top numerator of the first fraction, which in this case is 2, with the denominator of the second fraction, which is 5. This gives us 10. Then we do the same, but instead multiply the denominator of our first fraction, 3, with the numerator of our second fraction, 4, which gives us 12. Now we compare 10 and 12 to get 10 is less than 12, which also means that 2/3 is less than 4/5. Now, before I let you guys go, I wanted to give you guys some extra practice, so let's begin. In the first example, we have different denominators, so we need to find the least common denominator between 6 and 7. Well, 6 cannot fit into 7 evenly, so we need to multiply to find the LCM, or least common multiple, which is 42. Now, we need to multiply 6 to the numerator in our first fraction to get 36, and then multiply 7 to the 5 in our second fraction to get 35. This gives us 36 over 42 and 35 over 42. Well, we know that 36 is greater than 35, so 6/7 is greater than 5/6. Now, moving on to our second example, we have the same denominator of 5 for both, so all we need to do is compare 4 and 2. Well, we know that 4 is greater than 2, so 4/5 is greater than 2/5. Also, I wanted to add in that you guys can pause the video at any of these points to try the problems on your own. So, next we have 3/7 and 1/7. So once again, we have the same denominator of 7, so all we have to do is compare 3 and 1. We know that 3 is greater than 1, so 3/7 is greater than 1/7. And lastly, we have 5/7 and 2/3. Since they have different denominators, we can use the crisscross method, or the previous method, to solve it. So first we multiply 3 and 5 to 15, and then 7 and 2 to get 14. We know that 15 is greater than 14, so 5/7 is greater than 2/3. Now, I also wanted to mention that you guys can sometimes get numbers that equal one another, which simply means you put an equal sign in between them. I really hope that this video cleared some things up for you guys, and as always, please feel free to comment down below if you have any questions. As well as don't forget to hit the notification bell and subscribe button to keep on learning. Bye!